Okay, so today we're going to get into the nitty-gritty of TradingView setup, and at the end I'm going to talk about a futures broker as well, um, like what I use, what to look for, how to assess different options out there, etc. So the first thing you're going to do, you're going to make a TradingView account. So go to tradingview.com, sign up, log in, check it out. This is going to be fairly basic, just geared towards how to set up a chart the way I use my chart, and the way this course will like teach you to trade based on the charting setup that I have. As far as like uses of time outside of, watching these videos, things that will be useful to you, spending time just messing around in TradingView will certainly pay dividends, like exploring other trading options, other indicators, other chart setups, maybe other color schemes you like more. Just all of those steps towards personalization and, educating yourself on what this platform is and what is out there. All of that stuff will, make you better at what this course is aiming to do, which is, get you to that intermediate trader stage. So this will be fairly brief, fairly focused, but, definitely mess around and explore what this program has to offer. Just have some fun with it, get a little artistic, do some exploring. So this is my setup that I use. So this is a range chart, this candlestick portion here. A range chart differs from a traditional candlestick chart in that the candlestick chart prints one candle per every unit of time you select. So this is a 1 hour candlestick chart. White is the bullish candles, blue is the bearish candles. So every candle has, an open when the hour opens and a close when the hour closes, and they may wick, if price goes outside of those bounds and then retraces during the selected time period. The range chart is different. Um, Range charts, I believe, are part of a premium or more premium TradingView subscription. So something that you have to pay for. I think it's like $7 a month that I pay. But they do a sale every Black Friday where it's like 60 or 70% off. So if you're just signing on wanting to do it, maybe pay for a subscription up to that time. Um, and then, do a year at Black Friday. I think that's pretty much what people do across the board. To get to the range chart settings, you go to like the interval settings, it has minutes, hours, days. All of these are time-based settings. Then you can select ranges. And from the different candle candle types, I guess, or like charting settings, you have options like candles or the default time-based ones. Um, I mess around with some of the others as well, but for this, for our purposes, you'll just click range here, and that'll get you to the same place. The settings I have are 64, 32, and 16 ranges. I'm gonna have them favorited so they just show up here. I have 8 as well, but I don't really trade there because it's pretty zoomed in. Having the different range settings gives me like a high time frame view down to a lower time frame, so I'm able to look at the chart on different time frames and get more data for my analysis that way. The way a range chart setting works, if we go down to a lower setting, this is 8. So every candle represents a range, as you might have supposed, of 8 ticks. So in the ES, each tick is 25 cents, or a quarter of a point. So each of these represents 2 points, $2 worth of a range. And that can be either a full candle body, or a part of it can be a wick, um, just depending on how the actual range plays out. So this is not based on time. So if there's hours and hours and hours of time that price doesn't move much, it won't print very many candles here. Or if there's a very volatile event, each of these candles might just be a few seconds to print. So the 64 setting, that's the higher time frame setting I use. You can see if I hop over to a 1 hour candlestick chart, the information shown on the screen is about the same. So they're about equivalent. And then, 32 is maybe close to 15 in terms of the time frames. And then 16 is maybe more like 5 or 3 minutes, probably 3 minutes-ish. So pretty wide range in terms of, time frames covered by these three range settings. The other things I have on the chart, which I'll show you how to set up on your own. These lines here are an estimated, exponential moving average. I use a 70 and a 50. I find it just makes kind of the trend easier to read with the moving averages there. Like you can just glance at it and see, how far price is off of the moving averages, um, which just at a glance helps you to judge and process information a little bit faster. Definitely not needed. I won't really talk about them too much in terms of the trading content, which we'll get into more later. Then down here we have a stochastic RSI indicator, which is a momentum indicator. As price cools down or sells off, we go to the oversold area, which is down at the bottom, and then overbought is up at the top. Um, Momentum essentially is price movement over time, so it gives you another aspect to look at. Range charts aren't time-based, so it's like price movement over like number of candlesticks printed, which will tell you, like, by looking at price, you can see how price is moving, and then momentum indicators will tell you how fast or how strongly price is moving, which are really the two main like factors I take into my analysis and trading. You've got the stochastic, and then the one on the bottom is the awesome oscillator, which is another momentum indicator. Both of these are like slightly customized. If I have a paid Discord set up at some point, I'll have like documents of the code for both of these that I use that you can just import into your own custom indicators. Not necessary, but I find them visually helpful. On the stochastics, it prints arrows whenever the lines cross over. The lines crossing over is a signal I use for my trades. And for the awesome oscillator, it just prints a little orange circle when the AO crosses over the zero mark, which again I find useful but isn't necessary. So we'll hop on over to a new layout and start it from scratch. So first thing to do is get set on the range settings. Get them set up so you can use them instead of the time-based candlestick charting. This one has a volume indicator, which I don't use. We'll just take that off. So I went to indicators, searched for exponential moving average. I have one favorited. There's probably a million out there. But to get mine, you pull two of them up if it's just a single one. And set the input for one to be 50, and the other one to be 70. What did I say? 70 and 100. Yeah, not 50. You can set them to be different colors, whatever colors you like. Play around, get artistic with the settings, make it your own. So those are the EMAs. Those should look pretty similar across both of the charts now. To get the stochastic, go to the indicators, search for stochastic RSI. And this will be the same as I use, except colors are different, and it doesn't print the crossover arrows, which I have, customized on mine. I like to make the lines thicker, just because I think it's easier to see. Maybe my eyes are bad, and you can play with the colors from there. And then the last is the awesome oscillator, which again, I have the custom settings, but it'll be pretty much the same, just the default out of the box. Both of these indicators, I just use the out of the box default settings. So by now we should be looking pretty similar. So this is my setup, and then this is the one that I just showed you how to make. That should be about it as far as how to set up your trading view. If you've got this and you got the three range settings, you'll be able to chart and do like all the trading that I'll show you once we get into the course a little bit more. As far as a futures broker, I thought it would be helpful to talk about now. I don't have a whole lot of like specifics as far as what I can recommend there. So I use Tradeovate. It's certainly been an adequate service. I don't know that it's the best compared to other options because I've been with Tradeovate for a while now. I don't have an affiliate link or any kind of reimbursement for sending people to Tradevate. So, as far as I'm concerned, you can look into that and you can look into other futures brokers and see what is the most helpful. The main thing to look at is like fees per contract trading, how like established it is. Like you don't want to put your money somewhere sketchy and then have it, go bankrupt and you can't get your funds out. More of a crypto thing, but always a consideration with exchanges. For Tradevate, I have the lifetime membership, which was about $1,500 a one-time fee. And it cuts your fees down on contracts, which is the reason that it's been worth it for me to pay for that. I think usually trading a contract of ES is about $6 in fees. And with a lifetime membership, it's closer to $2. So, over time, there's a certain number of ES contracts you have to trade for that to be worth it. So just look into like other futures brokers and, see what options are out there. Make an educated choice for yourself in terms of what you set up. The other thing TradeAvate option or offers is you can connect it to Trading View through the trading panel. There are other brokers here too, which might be attractive starting out for something that they offer. The main thing, a couple of reasons I don't actually use this feature is that it's a subscription. It's only like $10, but I've just never paid for it and set it up. And then I've just gotten used to, having a chart open in one screen and Tradevate in another screen, or using Tradevate on my phone if I'm at work. So just look into like futures brokers a little bit, do your own research, find what seems to be the best for you. I don't really have skin in the game on that side. Um, that was pretty brief. Hopefully that showed you what you need to set up TradingView and then gave you some input. Cat just walked across the keyboard. Gave you some input as far as what to look for futures brokers. Really, you want something that'll let you trade like futures contracts and then get the best deal on fees over time and not be something that scams you out of your money. Hope that was useful, and I'll see you in the next one.